Was the acting thing, did that come into play at all in your career?
With real estate.
Yeah.
Yeah, because well, okay, it's kind of funny because I wanted to get into acting because I wanted, I don't know, I guess to be, how do I say this? Well, one, to build my confidence,
Yeah.
right? Second of all was because I wanted to see myself like on the big screen and thought that
Yeah.
was super cool. And then after I started like actually acting and putting in the work, I'm like, okay, I kind of suck. So I don't think I want to see myself on the big screen anymore, which is kind of funny because like now I'm in front of a camera.
Yeah.
Now I'm scripting and now like I'm quote unquote playing a character.
Yeah.
When it comes to like property tours, voiceovers, and just, going out there and connecting with people, you do have to like put on like a mask, right? Or like portray in a way a different persona, but still be you, like
Yeah.
more confident, like, right? So that definitely did come into play.
Dude, I've seen your videos and I'm like, dude, I feel like I'm watching $1 Million Listing or something, you know? I'm like, yep, that's my boy. You know, he's doing his acting thing.
Yeah.
That's funny because
A huge difference.
oh, it does.
For the consumer, like watching it is like, oh, he knows what he's doing. Versus like,
It's so funny because
huge difference.
oh, it's ginormous.
Yeah.
And it really does help with the confidence because like when I started taking acting classes and started doing more like acting work, like, doing stuff and like actually learning how to like create a character and how to like be a different person, it's basically sales. Like
Yeah.
really, you know what I mean? When you're talking to people and like you kind of have to mirror a little bit sometimes and you kind of have to adapt and you can just kind of like change, like I'm going to be XYZ and you're like, boom, you're that person. And you can like, boom, change. And it's like so interesting, like just the whole, how it just ties together. Had no idea that the time I spent like doing acting classes and doing that stuff actually would like translate into real life stuff. So are you like planning maybe to do more with like the video and create like more like deeper stuff or like what, are you going to like take any risks on that? Like I'm curious because you're good at it.
Yeah. Which is kind of funny because for the last 3 years, I've been doing social media and I've been doing it like very, very consistently and just pushing it. But last year I was like, you know what? I was really burnt out on a lot of things. And I said, I'm just going to take 2024. I'm going to take a break, right? It's going to go on the back burner. And I just stopped posting because I was so burnt out.
Yeah.
And now looking at it, I'm like, I think I kind of shot myself in the foot with that one, just because so many things changed from the end of 2023 and during 2024, where I'm like, I could have put myself out there so many times through, video, but I just wasn't really like in the right headspace for it. But definitely going into, well, now being in February of 2025, it's one of my biggest goals, which is like to push content, whether it's raw, whether it's cinematic, whether it's like lifestyle type of things, but just to really build a brand using video and just showing people who I am and like what I do and so on and so forth. Letting people into my world is what I like to say.
Yeah. No, it's funny you say that because we were having the same, thought process. I mean, it's really true because like when you're doing business with somebody, it's like with the old adage, you do business with people like, like and trust, right? Mm-hmm. And how are they going to know, like, and trust you if you only like talk to them on a sales call or you only meet them once or twice during a networking thing?
Yeah.
Like the video part of it, like for some reason, like, I know I do. I kind of like let myself be a little bit more real and just kind of like, okay, this is what it is. And when people see that, like it just makes a better connection when you actually meet with them in person. So I think it just kind of goes all, hand in hand. I mean, like, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, like, I know you're really big on the social media and like really putting, like getting people to know you and like you had a lot of experience with it.
So I didn't share that part of my background, but I worked at that Blue Zuck social media app.
Oh, I got it.
As a marketing expert. So
word.
Yeah, the other word.
Yeah.
No, when everything was happening with TikTok and people were, judging and having their opinions about what China was doing with that information, I was like, oh guys, if you only know what that place is doing with your information. But
tracking everything.
Literally. Yeah. Your metadata is crazy. They know who you voted for.
Are you sure?
They know if you didn't vote. It's actually kind of wild.
Oh, that is crazy.
But I'm like, yes. Okay, so that is kind of how I started and developed an interest. And I was helping different people. So at the time, I can name drop because these are businesses that I was working with.
Yeah.
And I want to give them their shine. So at the time, it was Black Rifle Coffee Company, Pink Lily Boutique. Those are who I was assigned to in 2019.
Wow.
So I was helping them with their marketing campaign. So if they needed, most of those, they were already kind of like a household name, even at that point, like people knew who they were. So maybe not a reach campaign, maybe for them we're further down the marketing funnel and we're asking for conversions. So I was helping them place ads on Facebook and making those ads more successful for them. That's where the interest came about for me personally, because that was the era of TikTok, 2019, 2020, of that becoming a thing. That was like the precipice of TikTok. Well, I started going viral using everything that I learned, and with millions of views, I was giving marketing advice. So I was telling people, this is your call to action. This is what you need to be doing. This is your beginning, middle, and end of your video. But I helped over 400 people go viral on TikTok in particular, and IG Reels. But my focus has been video media of how do you use the era of social selling to best sell you. One of the things that I teach people in particular with TikTok, if you haven't known yet, TikTok is geo-focused. So it's pushed out based off location. So what part of Arizona or what part of Phoenix are you in?
The Southeast Valley. So Chandler, Gilbert, Queen Creek, Mesa.
Okay, so I'm Queen Creek, Santan Valley. So I'm a little bit further southeast, but I'm in the same area, same ballpark. So if we were sourcing for people in our area, I have a lot of home developments and a lot of people that I am sourcing down here because it's not so saturated. That is a strategy, right? Go where other people haven't. And so the outskirts of any town tend to be good to purposely target, but we live in this area. So even more so for a reason for us to target. So if you were to go live or post on TikTok, I would recommend that you tag specifically Chandler or Mesa or Santan Valley where you're trying to target. And then if your post gets seen by, let's say, 500 people, new eyes, new viewership, you're going to get follows from that. It might be 20 this time. It might be 60 next week. But that brand consistency and what you're saying over time builds and builds and builds. And TikTok likes to push old videos. So a week from now, that same video that did okay is going to be doing even better. Now we got 1,000 likes on that video. Now we have traction. Now we have 20,000 views on your home tour video. That's something that we can build upon because every person who interacts with that is going to see your subsequent 2 or 3 posts. So we have a nugget of opportunity to keep that viewership or to now get a follow from somebody who's now seeing you a second time.
Wow.
So kind of targeting that way, that specific, and targeting geo-focused, and then teaching people how to go live. Have you gone live for a real estate?
Like IG Live, Facebook Live?
And TikTok Live in particular?
Live, yeah.
So
sorry.
No, okay.
So I used TikTok, I want to say in 2023. And you could get views like crazy, 15,000 minimum, 30, 40, 50,000, like a mid spot, right? And then if they would take off, they would take off. I mean, I had a video that I posted, which my editor at the time was actually my brother.
Oh,
shout out to my brother. He's really, really good with editing. And because of his work and, me being in front of the camera, I'm like, here, cut it up, make me look smart, whatever. We threw it up onto TikTok, and the power of social media is crazy. Because what you think isn't going to stick actually ends up sticking. And when it sticks, I mean, it gets 2 million views and you're like, which is what happened with me. And then I was like, okay, I'm kind of done with TikTok, which is kind of stupid because I could have kept going and followed, that snowball compounding effect. But when you're trying to juggle TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube Reels, Pinterest now apparently has,
Minate. That's what TikTok is using to compete with Pinterest.
Yeah. So when you try to juggle everything on top of running a business, it's like, okay, it's too much and you end up doing nothing. But as far as live, if I'm tracking, I don't think I've gone live just yet.
So you only need 1,000 friends to be able to go live on TikTok. But the reason I say that is they push you to new people based off where you are. Okay. Brand new people who've never seen you before will stumble into your live from the FYP who are local. That's what I mean about the app being geo-focused. Not just people who've interacted with your content, random people who are just in your 5-mile radius. So it can be beneficial for what we do. You have an open house, right? Yeah. You pushing and you going live for even 10 minutes. You'll have people come.
Well, I mean, I have 1,300 followers on Instagram, which is the platform that I use the most. So,
do you follow Gary Vee?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
I've seen him say recently, TikTok is just gonna explode this year. I mean, like, well, it's interesting because, like, you know, social media back when it first got started, it was like all based on like how many people are connected to you,
Yeah.
how many friends you have, how many followers, and now it's like it's not like like you were saying, it's geo focused and it just goes out to people, and it's like, wait, what? Like, I don't have
New
to.
accounts have the
Yeah.
chance to go viral too.
Yeah, because they push them first, right?
Yeah.
Because everyone else is like, oh, I'm down here.
The first couple videos,
Yeah.
they try to give you push to get you that excitement, that gambling kind of dopamine hit, right? And it
Yeah.
Like I really like the trial reel,
Yeah.
I guess widget, if you want to call it, that Instagram is pushing, because it lets you know like how good your
Oh yeah.
reel or post is going to do before you even post it. I just end up posting it either way because I'm like, you know what? If I can get in front of 100 people, that's a win for me.
Yeah.
You know, but I think that's super cool, dude. But I also think TikTok will probably make a comeback this year for sure.
Oh man. So I started seeing commercials about small businesses that were saying like, my business survives on TikTok. Like they wouldn't have a business without TikTok. And it's true. Like there's a lot of companies where, you know, like if you're looking at like coffee shops or even restaurants, like they'll just post videos of them like making stuff and you're like, oh, that's cool. And then like you go to the store, you go to the restaurant.
Simple.
Yeah.
It's super simple.
It's crazy, you know? And like,
That's exactly what I was going to say is restaurants. Like think about how many people have not survived since COVID times, right?
yeah.
And the difference maker, like I immediately thought of Amici's Pizza.
Yeah.
So here in Phoenix, this girl she's a relative of the family, right? She's like a niece or something. She started posting their Italian food. There was like nobody in the restaurant.
I know you're talking about.
They cannot keep up with orders and people are saying it's kind of like above mid Italian food. I'm not talking crap, but people are saying like it's nothing to halt, like it's not God's gift to earth. But the power of marketing and social selling, right? Everybody now, because of the cute videos and everything that she's made, they've built a brand identity. Everybody wants to try their pizza and their pasta, even if they're going to argue if it's mid or not. That's still the point, right? That's still the point. And I taught people if you create an argument, right? Like, so like I'll post the best brunch places in Phoenix. People who are homegrown here are going to be like, that is not the best.
Yeah.
The best brunch place that's really here, right? And then people who are from out of town or transplants are like, no, they'll give like a chain example.
Yeah.
And people will be mad. You said over easy. There's like 6 of those. That's like not special. And so they'll be arguing over nothing.
Yeah.
But that is engagement.
And if you like
Uh-huh.
heart, that shows the app that you're engaging with your own post, and it'll keep pushing it. I've learned a few things. here and
Comment
there.
back,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but not over comment. That's the thing. So like if you spam your own comments, it's not going to work. But like if you comment organically 2 or 3 at a time and then dip, completely close out of the app, you'll get more engagement.